So this is a demonstration of SOLIDWORKS integration with Aras Innovator. What I have here is a SOLIDWORKS 19. I'm going to go out there and open up a file that's on my local drive, and we'll pretend I'm a very talented engineer and I drew this. So this right now does not exist inside of Aras Innovator. I'm just opening it up from my local directory, and it's a extruder assembly, and it's got several little levels of the assembly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Innovator as well for my connection. So it's in my session now, and here I can see the structure. My highest level structure is this file here called MP2954. I see I have a subassembly in here with some other parts. So the goal of the session is to kind of walk you through on what happens with the integration. So the first thing that we would do is we can check our local workspace, and what this is my local workspace where the local CAD files are associated, and you'll see most of them don't exist on the server. The left-hand side is everything that's local, and on the right-hand side is if that file exists on the server. So you can see here that there are actual couple files, this high-performance fan and this filament block drive that already exist inside of Aras Innovator, and we see one's released and one's in preliminary. So that's how we would check to see if something is in a server and whatever I have on my local space, whether it's the latest version or not. So at this point, I am going to go to the PLM menu and I am going to register. This dialog is basically saying, the way we have it configured right now, it's saying that we're going to renumber the files that are on your local drive and use the file numbers that Aras Innovator assigns to it. So in this case, it's saying, okay, here's all the file numbers that need number generated, and I am going to select all these guys, and I am going to say generate me a part number. What this is going to do is you'll see that the part numbers start popping in, and we're generating part numbers. At this point, I could also select any one part number in here and add some information to it. In fact, what we're going to do is select the highest level part number and give it a attribute, maybe name, extruder. So I'm going to just say register. And what this will do, we'll go out and actually go into Aras Innovator and create part numbers for me. I could have also gone in here and used part numbers that already exist inside of Aras Innovator and assigned them to the part number drawing. And at this point, it's going to take a little bit of time because it's actually updating internally all the relationships to the part files to the CAD files, or the internal relationship drawings. So it's created the part numbers, and now it's asking me, okay, registration was successful. Would you like to continue and store the documents inside of Aras Innovator? So now inside of Aras Innovator, the document records exist, the part records exist, but there's no files associated there yet. We see that the highest level assembly is 82, and we see the lower level assemblies also received part numbers, and the subassembly is 75. I'll try to remember 82 and 75 as part numbers to show you inside of Aras Innovator. And I'm going to say, yes, I want to now check in the documents as well into Aras Innovator. What this is doing, it's actually going to be putting them in. And you can see here it's saying check in. It's actually taking these part files that are locally on my desktop and moving them into Aras Innovator. I'm going to say store. It's going out and actually now moving those files into Aras Innovator. And at this point, it's going to say, hey, would you like to create a bill of material from the CAD model? And I'm going to say, yes, create the bill of material. So it's actually going to interpret the CAD model and look at like parts and actually aggregate them into quantities. So here you can see that we have two of these, we have one of these sub-assemblies, and we have two of these 72 parts. And I'm going to say I want to store it. And what this is doing now, it's actually generating the bill of material inside of CAD. Okay, so one of the configuration settings is that it will actually clean off your workspace when you are done storing the information. That actually leaves it out. This is a good practice for a lot of mechanical guys that are designing stuff to ensure that they always get the latest stuff inside of their sessions. Of course, we could have put a switch setting that says, you know, don't close off these assemblies, leave them in session. But since it's closed off, it's a good way to show you how we can retrieve this information. So I'm going to retrieve, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for documents. I think it was something called 82. This is my document number. And in this case, I'm going to select this extruder, and you can see that it's the extruder. And I'm going to view its hierarchy. And yes, that's the part I want. So you could have checked it out for a copy. You could have checked it out for a checkout, meaning a reservation, or you could have just put it in your session. Now it's inside of my session. Once again, you can see that the part numbers are renumbered. And if we look at the workspace, we see that that we also have now a mapping between what's on the server and what's locally on my computer. If something was to change on the server, you could have highlighted non-latest parts that are local and then just retrieve those non-latest files. This is used in concurrent engineering, where multiple people are drawing sub-assemblies, and let's say one of your colleagues has updated something on a particular part and you wanted to basically represent it inside of your session. So what did all of this do inside of Aras Innovator? If we open up Aras Innovator, I'm going to log in as the same guy here, Mike Miller. And what did it create inside of Aras Innovator? So we're going to go in here, and as soon as we get the menu, we're going to go in and look at parts. So we're going to look at parts, search for parts. And I am going to search for part number 82, something 82. Here's my part. And in this case, we have the part number. And if we look at the bill of material that's associated to it, we see that we have a bill of material for that part number. And if we look at the structured bill of material for that part number, you see a multi-level structure here. So we see 75. We just move this to the side over here. We see that this is the bill of material 82 for 82. If we look at 75, which is right here, that's a sub-assembly. And if we look at underneath 75, we have 2 of the part number 72 below it. See quantity 2. So here's instance 1 and instance 2 of part 72. And if we go back into Aras, even though we're looking at the part structure here, if we go into the CAD document tab, these are the CAD documents that are actually associated with it. And if I open up this CAD document, you'll see that we have brought in the thumbnail automatically. If we wanted to, we could have brought in a viewable automatically as well, or any other derived part format. So you can see that this is the CAD file, and it's also associated all of the CAD documents, or the structured documents that are below. And that's pretty much it. Thank you.